camp's up here.
Okay, hello and welcome to the second video of my DDO free-to-play Barbarian walkthrough.
This way.
So, you've just finished making your Barbarian. Assuming that it's a new character, you should definitely roll your daily dice. And if you get lucky, you can get quite a bit more experience than I did there, but that's fine. And then you run up to cheats, as usual.
If what the halfling said was true,
And then you're going to take the Great Axe, since you are a nice big barbarian.
as you take hold of the weapon, feeling its balance, you can't help but notice this Jeets has more he wants to say.
Salimus is at the grotto.
So, in this beginning area, there are quite a bit of boxes and barrels. You will definitely want to smash all of these, because there's a chance you can, like this, get starter healer pots, and you can get quite a number of them from here. And they will be very helpful in times to come, because yes, you can buy healing potions, however they're pretty expensive, and since you're just starting out, you're not going to have any gold whatsoever. So definitely smash all these, that way you can gain an alright stack of healing potions.
Here we are. Go inside and speak with Salimus. I shall wait here for Jeets.
So, just from running around and smashing barrels, I gained 12 Cure Light Wounds. Very, very worth breaking those early boxes.
Is this Salimus, the cleric you were sent to find?
If you're completely new to the game, I do suggest you read some of the tooltips that pop up on the right there. I close them out very rapidly because I've already read through them quite a few dozen times now.
Dying, though you can still suffer injuries. This effect will wear off when you leave these caves.
Now, let's be about it. A gate? There must be a way to
hear
try
the
up that
shuffle
ladder.
and wheezing
I'll
of
remain
some
here.
creature coming from the corridor ahead. The corroded
So as you can see right there, right at the beginning, already wasn't even a crit, 19 points of damage.
is waiting.
One-shotting creatures.
Good job, but no time to dawdle.
We come to assist you. Onward to glory.
Salimus isn't too honked at me. Thanks for putting in the good word. Don't you worry, Salimus. I'm here to watch your behind now.
The evil aura is oppressive. Charge! What, it's empty?
Oi, where's the bloody Sahuagin?
Look, the door closed behind us.
It would be logical to assume.
There are more of them up there. Stay alert. For the flame!
Jeez, look at that. The level 1 doing all the work.
Come down and
These guys are useless. I could do this.
the righteous smite you!
Look at that. The naked level 1 is doing all the work here.
Such is the fate of evil. Now, let's find a way out of here.
Can't pick this. Anyone see a key?
Curious. I just stepped on something. A latch?
Good work! I see a key down there. Who's up for a swim?
You grab the silver key.
Hydrophobia
Time
mean
to swim
anything
for
to
the
you?
surface.
I knew you'd come in handy. This way.
Some generic quick things that I do,
Take a moment to rest.
that I do a lot, is I have it toggled to Q, like that, to toggle inanimate objects and or NPCs. And I also constantly hit T to make my mouse appear to click things, and to toggle back on the reticle, because I prefer using my mouse to look around rather than A and D
Ha! It was no
when I'm
mouse.
playing. That's personal preference, though. You can play however you'd like to. This walkthrough is only going to be explanatory of
You two having fun?
how to play the class and how to get through missions efficiently and favor
The onus for much
saturated.
rests squarely upon her slimy web. There she is, performing some kind of profane blood magic.
I totally carried the team there.
Employer, there's a secret passage around here somewhere leading to Korthos. You boys look for it. I must cleanse the profane energies around the shrine.
Let Selimus do her thing. You and I'll take care of the important stuff. The treasure.
So, I remember in my last video I said that you don't get any abilities to get water breathing. You do get this ring, however, it doesn't last very long and it only has one charge. So, yeah, it's helpful, but it's not great.
There's something fishy in this room.
And in higher level missions, you'll be spending a minimum of 20-30 minutes underwater, and it can be very, very difficult if you have no way of water breathing or swimming quickly.
The way out is up ahead. But first, I want to reward you for your assistance.
And of course, you're going to take the Ember Great Axe because you're a big, strong Barbarian. Throw out the Rusty Great Axe because you can't sell it anyway, so there's no point in keeping it.
Stepping out of the grotto, you find yourself in Korthos village. The Sahuagin have threatened this place for generations. Judging from how it looks now, the
Right out here,
Sahuagin
Control R is the
However,
quick
some hopeful souls
command
still
to pull
hold
up in
out
the
for help
enhancement
to
tree.
revive.
And so, right out from the beginning, I am going to be going up the Ravager and Frenzied Berserker trees. And so, first point, first point, we'll go into Frenzied Berserker. We'll be resetting the trees very, very often. However, it's pretty cheap to reset the trees. I find that right at this instant, at this level, Furious Rage is not as good as automatically stabilizing when incapacitated starting at level 1. And then you just run right here, take her mission for Heyton's Rest, and do it on normal difficulty. With this class build, you do not need to buy a hireling for this level of Korthos. There will be some walkthroughs that I will show that will definitely require the immediate buying of a hireling. There are some classes that just, they don't pick up fast enough to to be able to solo the entirety of Korthos from level 1. Good example of that would be Arcane Archer. Doesn't pick up its damage until around level 3. But since at level 1 this class does a nice solid amount of damage, there's no need for a hireling for these.
What were those cultists up to?
Unless you really want to buy one. They're pretty cheap and inexpensive though.
This chamber is an evil devourer altar.
So for these missions, you just ignore the Necromancer and the skeleton and immediately run towards the altar and destroy it, because as soon as you destroy the altar, you gain the optional objective. So you don't even really have to kill the Necromancer to get the objective.
There's another Sahuagin. It croaks. Crag Wolf Heyton. In life, another crest drops out as you smash the altar. There might still be other altars elsewhere in this crypt. As you slay these foul cultists, take care to keep a treasure chest glimmers in the dark passage here. There's a Sahuagin in here, performing some kind of ritual. Dead son of a... The altar collapses, a third crest appears. It glows with cold magic.
Don't accidentally forget to pick up the crests. Okay, I did not forget to pick up the crests this time. I've gone through this a few times and completely blanked on picking up the crests. But you get the 3 crests from those altars. Run back over here, throw them in the sockets. This time, though, you want to immediately gun it for the big Necromancer and kill him as fast as you can to get the optional objective. So the game will award EXP increases based on a couple of things. First and foremost is it will give you bonus EXP based on how many monsters you kill. For example, in this mission I killed 23, which gave me a 15% increase to my EXP. I smashed 18 breakables and gained an 8% mischief bonus to EXP. And obviously the other EXP bonuses as well. So, as a free-to-play, you absolutely must destroy almost every crate to maximize the amount of EXP you're getting. That way you can advance to the next levels and proceed in a relatively easy fashion and not have to repeat any missions. And by repeat, I mean repeating on the same difficulty. Like, I will not have to run through any mission a second time on Elite, for example. I always take the inner focus, even if I'm not a caster, because +1 to will saves. The other amulet that she offers gives you a -1 penalty, which it's just not worth it. Next, you're gonna do the mission with Storehouse Secret. We go through here and smash the barrels, of course. picking up any potions of Cure Light Wounds. Oh, there is a way to increase your jump skill, and those are potions of jump. However, you're not going to have access to them early on, and most of the ones you get are a simple plus 10 to your jump skill, which can be helpful, but they're only plus 10. There do exist higher level ones, but they're more expensive. So as soon as you pick up the key for this mission, a boss will spawn. He's pretty easy. A little meatier than any other monster you've fought so far, but stands no chance against this powerful barbarian. You might get a lot luckier than me and actually be able to get... You might actually be getting gear that's actually helpful to a barbarian. Like, you might get a new two-handed axe or some new armor or something from these missions. However, the game has decided to be mean to me and stick me with no increase in gear yet.
The door swings open. It appears that the floor in the room can be moved and rotated.
This puzzle's pretty straightforward. It's not too difficult. Just line up the puzzle tiles with the runes on the floor, and you want to get this blue light to go to every single one of the tiles. And then it unlocks the scroll. You can pick it up, and you're done with this mission. Once again, Control R to get back to this page. Now, like I said, we're going to be respecking a lot, and I'm going to grab bonus plus 4 rages per rest right now, because at level 1, plus 4 to your strength, plus N constitution, plus 2 to your will saves. That's plus 2 to hit and damage, and plus a little bit of hit points. Very helpful. For this, it's up to you. If you prefer a 0 will save instead of a -1 at this point, you can grab the reflex save belt. Me, I'm more of a I like being a big meaty tank, so I grab the 5 HP. Go over to Baldar the Bold, grab his mission. His mission is just a defend this crystal mission, which basically all you have to do is stand in front of the crystal and make sure nobody breaks it. It's a lot harder on the higher difficulties, but I will have a video for that as well.
But from the shadows approach those who would doom Korthos by destroying it.
And now that I have the bonus rages per rest, I'm going to try being raged for the entire duration of a mission. That is the goal as a barbarian, is you want to basically try to stay enraged for the entire mission. Right there, level 1, 56 crit with a Great Axe. As soon as the rage goes out, you begin raging again. You do get fatigued, but that does not affect your hit points. It only affects your constitution, I believe? No, it just affects your strength, I believe, actually. And run speed. But it's not really that big of a deal. As you can plainly see, it's not that big of a deal. The last cultist will spawn always right in this hallway. I've never had it spawn anywhere else. So as soon as you notice that you have one cultist left, he will be right here, waiting for you to kill him. And then you're done with this one.
Thus protecting the Cannith Crystal and saving Korthos.
For this reward, I always grab Spearbane, because almost every monster, every big major monster, the Sahuagin, will be using spears, and so that +4 damage reduction helps a lot with these missions. Then once you do all those missions out there, you go to the tavern, and you do Sigmund Bowerson's mission.
Your waiting bears fruit. This must be the Collaborator stepping in from the dark.
Begin raging and crush.
Gives the Sahuagin pause, but you hear more of them.
After you get that, there will be a chest behind the bar. You can jump up and get it. Finally, something better than the beginner light armor chainmail. And then same with the other starter gear. It has the starter quality on it, and it can't be traded, sold, or crafted. So I just destroy it, toss out of your inventory, because you will need that space. I forgot to rage.
You have weathered the Sahuagin storm. Now, after that traitorous Jacoby Drexelhand, he must have fled into the cellar. Drexelhand isn't here. However, webbed footprints on the ground betray.
If you're too enraged, like I am, to search, then you just pull a little lever on the thing there. You also get bonus EXP for finding secret doors. However, I don't think you get bonus EXP for this mission for finding that secret door. Grr, I rage. If at any point you do wind up getting low enough hit points to where you feel like you're going to die, just remember that you picked up all those potions early on in the game, and use them as needed. And then kill this guys and these guys, and loot your chest. And hopefully you'll get more lucky than me. +1 to will save's not bad. And get some type of weapon upgrade. See, I have 2 enchantments now that add 2 enchantment bonuses to my will save. So only the highest bonus supersedes the lower bonuses, and they do not stack. Since I haven't gotten any upgrades, I'm going to grab Molin's Great Axe. You lose +1 fire damage each successful hit, but gain +1 to hit and damage and +1 d6 points of damage to monstrous enemies. Yes, monstrous humanoids, which means Sahuagin damage. And I'm going to throw out the Ember Great Axe, because it's a starter gear. And now you are ready to level up. You find the Barbarian trainer, and tell him to advance to the next level as Barbarian. Jump, listen, swim if you're following my guide. And this is where I would grab Furious Rage, because you now have plenty of rage that where you're not necessarily burning through all of them yet to get through the mission, and you probably won't for a little bit. So next, if you do not know, if you hit P default, it will open up the Adventure Compendium. The Adventure Compendium is a long list of missions that you can currently accept and complete at your current level. So right now it's letting me know that I have 4 missions grayed out that I do not have currently in my quest journal. Default L to open up your quest journal. And I have completed 4 missions. They are highlighted in yellow. And what difficulty that I have completed them on. So, at this point is where you grab Handsome Wilm's mission down by the docks, which is Necromancer's Doom, a level 1 mission. You grab Viggy Stores, the Mares, which is also a level 1 mission, and finally Ursa, whose is the 3rd level 1 mission. The final level 1 mission that we have not completed yet is out here in the wilderness area. This is the final level 1 mission that we have not completed yet, and we accept that, and it is safe to jump off as long as you land in the water like so. The mission entrance is this big old aqueduct area. If you don't kill this guy fast enough, he just rings the bell and, well, there you go. Summons up a few other monsters. Not too hard to kill. Occasionally, hidden enemies will show in your reticle, even if your character yourself does not perceive them. So if you keep an eye on your reticle, you can sometimes tell where hidden enemies are. As a non-trap disabler, you'll always want to go down the right passage. If you can disable traps, go down the left passage. The left passage always has a nasty poison trap that can be quite painful on elite difficulties.
You hear the sound of distant snoring warns you that you are not alone here. If you're careful, you may be able to take a sleeping chance by sunrise.
Watch out in this room for the ice trap there. It periodically sprays jets of ice, or sonic, it's sonic damage. And it can hurt quite a bit, and if you're not careful it will kill you. So just give it a wide berth and you'll be fine. Then you can close it once you get back here by clicking on the door. Then you pull this valve, and you have to ring the gong, not once, but twice, and it will shatter the ice in the adjacent room.
Then it's the second strike of the gong produces the telltale sound of...
And you can fall off right here into the water and take no damage and not have to climb down the ladder, but you can climb down the ladder if you are less daredeviling. Ladder's right over there. Then you pull those two levers, you go to the southern wall, and those two levers open up this hatch. And you swim through, swim up, and then find this secret door. And there's two Sahuagin just chilling back here, and a rest shrine if you need to rest. See, I'm constantly preaching, don't forget to rage, and I completely forgot to rage. This chest sometimes has different types of starter boots in them. These aren't my favorite, but they'll do. I don't generally rage in wilderness areas because if you forget to rest, there we go. Generally, the first time I go through this, I kill the spider and then jump over here to just disable the spray jets. I did not do that entirely efficiently. But then you solve this puzzle right here. It's not super bad if you know what you're doing. Kind of just swirls around this side. And make sure you don't accidentally stand in front of the jets when you turn it on. And that's the end of that mission. You click the finish out button and you recall to the beginning. Your hit points and any rage expenditures refunded.
Steam billows from the hidden entrance to an underground.
Then we make our way to some of the explorers on Korthos. The first one that we got was that steam vent. The second one is right over there in that big tree. I'm gonna kill some of the surrounding Sahuagin first. And you just gotta run up to the tree and you get the EXP for the Explorer. Next up, the other Explorer is right up there on that crest. A rare encounter also spawns up there. Hopefully that'll happen to me soon. That way I can show you that yes, indeed, a rare does spawn up there.
The Sahuagin keep close
No rare for me this time, but EXP either way.
from this overlook.
As a free-to-play, it is always good to kill more than really required in wilderness areas, because as a free-to-play, you'll kind of be scrounging to get the most EXP out of all those free-to-play missions. And up here, the reason I go up here is, like you saw there is an Explorer on top of this little area. And then you just harmlessly drop down slowly so you take no damage. And advance towards this region. If you are struggling at this point with the Barbarian, and you find yourself dying or otherwise having a challenging time, first make sure power attack is on, and then you can feel free to recall at every point that you get an action point, and spend them as I do when I return. However, normally I come out here, I do all the level 1 missions that I've taken, return, turn them in, and proceed with going through the level 1 missions again, but on hard. Feel free to rest there if you need to. However, I don't feel like I necessarily need to rest, because this mission isn't very difficult.
You enter one of the laboratories where decades ago
A lot of these early level missions are fairly straightforward and fairly easy. You just kind of follow the path, so to speak. And if you are completely new to the game, I strongly encourage exploring and checking out all the crevices that I don't necessarily go through, just to get an understanding of the game and everything. So, you can either try your luck with passing through the Blades of Death, or you can come over here and, even if your search is super pitiful, mine is a -1 to be in fact, you can still find it's weird, my search is a +1.
closed the hissing stops.
It's weird. I don't know why my search is a +1, but either way, even with a -1, you can still find those and turn off the valves for the acid jets and get through here without taking a point of damage. And remember, if you find any Cure Light Wounds potions, to pick them up, because you can never have enough Cure Light Wounds.
A magical barrier humming with compressed energy, resolutely good. You hope you can find a way to disable this.
If at any time, like right now for example, that you are too enraged, oh, I'm not too enraged to pull a valve, okay. But if at any time you encounter something and it says you're too enraged to perform this action, you can always cancel your rage early with the other ability granted by raging. It's even called Dismiss Rage. So you pull all the valves. There's a total of six valves. You pull them all. It stops the jets. If you try to break them when the jets are active, it doesn't work and you can take damage. So you just pull the valves, stops the jets, quickly destroy them, and then you run over here, and there's Heyton, way back there, hiding behind his bookcase.
Who in the flame are you?
Who the fuck are you?
Oh no. The Sahuagin found me.
Suddenly the air shimmers with devourer magic. The Sahuagin have followed you in and are attacking.
They wouldn't have sent so few after me. Stay alert. Watch for more attacks.
So basically all this is, you know, you protect Lars and Heyton, or you protect Lars, Heyton, and Amalgam as waves of Sahuagin come through the portal. None of them are really that dangerous or difficult at this time, so it's not too hard to make sure he doesn't die. You swing your axe and things die.
Once the Sahuagin get your scent, they won't stop until you're dead. We might actually get through this. Just hold for a little longer.
Hooray, I did it.
Magic is gone. We beat them off. This time.
Heyton looks weary after surviving this latest attack. Perhaps you should talk to him again.
Go now.
There's no point in picking up arrows or bolts that are non-magical. They don't sell for much, so they're not worth the inventory stack.
With Heyton finally persuaded to help, the people of Korthos might finally win their struggle. A mangled sewer grate leads to an old abandoned Cannith manufactory.
Up here is going towards the third mission. And you can go around, but I prefer to just fall down and gently slide. You take a little bit of damage, but hey! The reason I slide down here is because occasionally, like this, the named is here. And a crappy Masterwork Scimitar that's not even worth picking up. And there's a rest shrine if you need to, outside of every single mission.
Obscured by the falling water. You enter a musty hall, heavy with silence and the weight of dark stone. All of a sudden, the sense of rot and decay assail your nostrils.
Here there's a bunch of levers that you have to pull to open up this region. The frozen adventurers have turned into zombies. A couple of cave baths. Doesn't matter which path you go down first. I normally go to the right first due to personal, I go down the right passageway all the time. And there'll be a lever at the end. You pull it. Then you run back and down the other passageway, whichever one you didn't head down first. You go down that one. This gate will shut and lock you in until you kill these zombies. There, and then they'll reopen. Then another mini-boss will be around the corner. Followed by a lever. Heading all the way back. Now the barrier has dropped, however this door is locked. And when you turn around, down the stairs will be coming the real boss. And you should have been raging. But I wasn't. And you kill him. He takes a little bit. Kill his buddy. And you automatically pick up the key to this poor girl's cell. And you let her out. If you can pick locks, you can get into this door. Normally in that chest, there's not that good of gear. It has a select few things that it gives. It's not random loot generated. So, Barbarians, you're not missing much when you can't open that door. So this explorer is right on the crest of the hill. You don't have to fall down there, you can just get to this little area here and you'll get the explorer. There's a rest shrine if you need to use it before going into the next mission.
This entrance leads down into an ancient Cannith aqueduct. block your path. They don't look capable of withstanding blows from your weapon. The cells in this room hold a number of desperate Korthos villagers.
You just pull that lever over there, that lowers this bridge. You pull this lever here, that opens up this region. Sometimes a named spawns back here with a chest. That's nice when that happens. Talk to the prisoners, make sure that you free them. Alright, so this next part is one of those jumping puzzles that I mentioned at the beginning of my first video. So you jump on the ledges here, and if you can jump all the way across, like so, there is a skeletal mage that you can put to rest for some bonus EXP and a chest. It's always worth getting if you can get to it fairly quickly and easily. I did not get anything good, but occasionally you can find some really nice weapons and things in there. I always also run backwards here for the simple fact of there are smashables and things to kill for that little bit of bonus EXP that I mentioned earlier. And at some point you will get the Sahuagin Exterminator 1, whether you're out and about in the wilderness or possibly in a mission killing the Sahuagin like I just did. And that gives you a little bit of bonus EXP as well. Up ahead is a trap, and if you stick to the right, and then, yeah, see, I'm not perfect, but you can generally avoid the big slash trap and some of the spike traps occasionally and not have to take damage like I did. Trying to keep up that rage as often as possible. And look at that, level 2 and a 62 damage crit. It's pretty darn good damage. I always go down here first after killing those guys, because there's always a named down here. He's easy to kill for a little bit of free EXP and a chest. And of course the game doesn't give me anything good. Sometimes you can get super lucky by level 2 and, you know, have a feather falling item along with a new sword. All sorts of luck that I don't have. I talked to her early, but that's alright. Normally I break all the barrels and talk to all of the other prisoners before I talk to her, but it doesn't really matter which order you do it in. Same amount of EXP either way, and then you can take the rope up to immediately get out of there, and then from here, do not recall yet, because you will be getting the last two. Well, not last two, but there are 3 explorers that you can easily get from that exit way. So you go back around and run across the aqueduct here, and jump over to the rock, taking minimum damage, and then jump onto the hill, and you'll slide down harmlessly without taking damage. Here is the one explorer, and then the second one is back down here. across this aqueduct near the brown rat. And then the final area that we'll be getting before we recall back is a region where there is a possible rare encounter as well, and that is down this way. If you have a feather falling item already at this level, you can just fall down, but I do not have a feather fall item yet, so taking a slow way. See, Explorer, and if you get the rare encounter, he will spawn right over here. But I did not get lucky. Maybe I will the next 2 times that I'm out here. And then you can recall. And since you recall, you can now start turning stuff in. If you have a Featherfall item, I suggest grabbing the Curative Cloak. It gives you a once per day free Cure Light Wounds, so you don't have to use a potion. And if you don't have a Featherfall item, I suggest grabbing the Featherfalling Cloak. And if you don't have a cloak already, you can equip it. But since I already have a cloak, I'm actually going to drag both of them down into my hotbar. That way I can use my hotkeys to switch and use the item, and then switch back to my real gear. From this one, I'm taking the Goggles of Insight, because I don't have a good enough plus to hit, really, with my whopping +1 when I'm running. And then from the mare, I usually grab, as a Barbarian, Anger's Step, which are going to replace my current boots, as well as get dragged down into my hotbar here. And that is because twice per day you can cast Expeditious Retreat on yourself to move quite a bit faster. At this point, I'm going to sell things, because I am getting close to my maximum storage space. So always repair. I repair first and then sell. I usually sell anything that I'm not immediately using. So I keep healing pots, toggle items known as clickies. I'm actually going to throw out the Ember short bow because I don't think I will be using it. Alright, and now before we go, we won't go up to Misery's Peak yet. We'll be going up to Misery's Peak in my next video. But this concludes the first run-through of Korthos Island efficiency playing for a free-to-play character with the easiest time of the game. So, I hope to see you in the next video, and where I will be covering Korthos Island, Hard Mode, and Misery's Peak. Bye-bye.